Okay. So, so much. Like, I've been gone. I haven't been doing these. So much to get into. Um, the truth about Scotty. See, the thing is, I'm almost afraid to click on some of them. Like, there'd be a waste of time because they're so clickbaity. Like this one about it almost killed me. It was total BS. And like the truth about Scotty Kilmer wearing makeup, it's probably BS. Um, Most of his videos are BS. The end of muscle cars, BS. So much crap. Why you should not buy a Honda Odyssey? Because you should buy a Toyota. Let's do this millionaire one. Somebody was messaging me about this one, so I gotta check it out.
Shakira says, Scotty, how much have you made from YouTube? Well, I made a lot of money on YouTube, but you gotta understand that I've been doing this since 2007.
He has made a lot of money on YouTube, and you know, when he started in 2007, I don't think he was really making money. Like, they didn't have the partner in the advertising program back then when Google first acquired it. Like, I don't think Google acquired it in 2007, did they? I don't know. I can't remember what year. I thought it was later than that, because YouTube started in like 2005, 4 or 5. I don't know. Anyway, but Scotty, like, let's go on to Social Blade. If you're ever curious, this is a cool site. It's not totally accurate. Like, it gives a nice, it'll give you a pretty good idea of Scotty Kilmer. It'll give you a pretty good idea of what people's earnings are and their views and everything. Like, it's not totally accurate. Because I could look at mine, I could look at see what my numbers are and everything, and gauge like how accurate it is. Go. But Scotty makes a ton. Like, he's. That's why I'm so like, especially. Let me catch my. Oh, here's number 2. Oh, that's cool. All right. So, what's interesting about Scotty Kilmer? First, I want to show you this. He really took off this year. Like, he's been a relatively famous YouTuber for the past several years, like pretty well known. But back, when is this? I guess the end of 2017. But here, the beginning or the early of about a year ago, he just really took off. I mean, just. I don't know exactly what happened or why. I guess YouTube just decided he's going to be famous. So you look at, he's getting thousands of subscribers, which is amazing. And daily he's getting 1 million plus views, which is amazing. And so you look at his estimating earnings. This is per day. So look here. So this is Tuesday the 12th. For a 24-hour period, his estimated earnings is between minimum $278 to $4,500. I find that this is about accurately, it's about halfway. Like, the minimum, if you're interested in how YouTube works, that's if you get the lowest click-through rating, and that's if your video is in a poor country, basically, and the advertisers aren't paying much, or your viewers are from. But if your viewers are mainly from like the US or Europe, you have a higher, the ads cost more, basically, because people are paying more. And so it's probably in the he's probably making about $2,000 per day on YouTube. So that's absolutely amazing. Like, to make $2,000 per day on YouTube. So yes, Scotty is rich. Because even at a year of making $2,000 per day, that's some pretty good money. But he's been doing it for a while, like he said. So even back in the day, he was still making decent money on YouTube.
Google took over YouTube, and before that, I was already a millionaire. Because I've been
Well, so even before he started YouTube, he was a millionaire.
working on cars, running my own business. And if you've been...
I don't totally buy that. I mean, I think some people are smart, really good with money. And if you have dual income, and if you're really, really frugal, you could be a millionaire by the time you're 50. If you do well your whole life and have some smart investments.
been doing something.
But most mechanics, even he doesn't own his own shop. He doesn't have like mechanics under him. Like I've known some mechanics who own garages and they have mechanics working there and they completely own the garage and do it for decades and they're not that rich.
50 years. Just think about it.
Because mechanics really don't make that much
If
money.
you only had $20,000 a year you saved.
It's like, okay, saving 20 grand a year is not very easy for most people. It's a good chunk of change. It's for some people, that's for the average person, not in a big city, not in a major market, that's now that's half their annual income. And back, 20 years ago, it was much more than half.
Years, that's over $1 million, and that doesn't include interest.
So he's BSing now. He's talking about saving 20 grand a year. Most people don't save 20 grand a year, especially 20 years ago. That's way above average. And a mechanic especially does not have 20 grand extra a year. That's
and stuff like that.
But yes, YouTube, he is
mean,
rich.
Realize it takes time to do things. It's not this magic get rich quick, all of a sudden, voila. Just think, for every person who wins the millions and millions on the lottery, there are millions and millions of people who lose. Only one person wins that. But you want to do it yourself? Hey, I got married. My wife worked. I worked. We saved.
So I guess maybe he's mentioned it before. I guess his wife's a teacher. Oh God. So yeah, that's the average teacher. If his wife's making like 50 grand a year, and he's, I don't know, like slashing back 20 grand a year, especially when you just have mechanic and teacher. I don't know.
Her salary and the money I made fixing cars went to paying for the house and all that. I bought this old house that I'm in. Okay, that was 40 years ago, and people said,
"Oh my God, he's been living in the same house for 40 years." Good God, I bet that place is ancient.
Paid $80,000 for that old beat-up house that was made in World War II.
Okay, he bought a house 40 years ago for 80 grand. 20 years ago, 80 grand would have bought you a pretty decent house in he's in Houston. He's not in San Francisco, New York City, or in the surrounding areas. So 80 grand should buy you a pretty decent house 40 years ago in Houston.
And I said,
and it may be like, I mean, you can see in his videos, it doesn't seem that great.
Let's just see. Well, they were right. It still is an old beat-up house, but the lot that it's sitting on is worth more than $500,000.
I don't get this guy. I really don't get it. So he's got he overpaid for a house. Now the lot's worth, I'm sure it's worth way, way, way more than the house. But he's making bukudos of money now. I don't get him.
Oh, that was a wise financial decision too. Anybody can really become a millionaire if you want to do a lot of hard work, put a lot of time in it, and do things that people need. In my case, it was fixing cars originally, just fixing cars. Everybody needs their car fixed. Or, as time went on, fixing cars and helping everybody all over the world fix their own cars. I've helped millions of people over the last...
I think you helped millions. Oh my God, I wonder how many cars. I've talked to people about, like, I wonder how many people actually broke a car or even died because they take Scotty's advice. Like, he gives some dangerous advice. I mean, go through my videos, you'll see I talk about it. Like, some of his advice is dangerous. It's literally deadly, some of his advice. And that's why I do this, because I think you shouldn't listen to him. Like, he's giving out really, really bad advice, and it's going to hurt people. It's going to hurt your wallet. And
last 20 years on the internet and on YouTube, I've answered over 1 million individual car questions.
No, you haven't.
It's a lot of work involved.
No, you haven't.
Don't think that it's just easy peasy. But if you're good at something and you want to put in the time, hey, anybody can do it. Sure.
No. Yeah, this guy, I don't get him. Because at this point, he's at retirement age. He's making $2,000 a day, and he's been making $2,000 a day for at least, I don't know, he's been making a lot of money per day for a while now. I don't get him. I don't know what he's pushing for. Maybe he has some legal fees to pay for. It beats me. That's the thing, though. Like, I'm afraid, like, Scotty's got cash now. He can afford a lawyer. That's what I'm afraid now. He's going to go after me for some BS. He's going to, like, lawyer me out of my my bank account. Like, he's going to litigate me. Yeah. Oh, well. That's all. I just wanted to talk about Scotty's bootkoodles of cash he's got. His massive bank account. Alright, that's it. Sorry.